And we're back. Hey everybody, this is Tom from smallscalegardening.com coming at you. Just wanted to give a brief update here at the Small Scale Gardening Ranch of how the garden's doing. It's October 11th, and we are on borrowed time up here in Minnesota. Usually we get frost and everything is dead at this point. And we have had some frost. It's gotten pretty cold at night. The planes, of course, are coming over. Go figure. But I'll show you some of the frost damage here as we walk through, get our little visual tour here. Working on a couple posts right now. One is lessons learned from 2014, and certainly there have been a bunch. I'm not perfect. Here's a couple of my epic failures. Is squash, grow squash number 1. Grow squash number 2. If you recall, I was having a battle with slugs on these guys. I lost. So the other thing is the animals have really pounded this bed. You can just see all the holes. They've been digging like crazy in here, and I was treated to this today. I have no idea what that is. It looks like scat from somebody. It's gross. It's gonna be gone. I don't know if that's buckthorn or what is that exactly, but I gotta remove it. I'm not gonna put it in compost. I'm just gonna get rid of that. It's just gross. But I learned a lot with these squash guys this year, and they suffered from powdered mildew pretty bad. So that's going to be one of the lessons learned in my post, is how to, to develop a strategy for that and really combat powdered mildew, because those peonies are upwind from here. So plants could have the potential to get powdered mildew in this location. The green beans have done pretty well. I'll get to the other side here so you can see it, but you can start to see some of these leaves are starting to die. They've hit the end of the road here, and the frost and cold nights have taken their toll on these plants. But I do still have some beans up, and I'll taste them, but they might be a little old now, so I might just take the seeds from them and have seeds for next year. But overall, good season with the green beans. Did learn a little bit with these guys. Just keep harvesting the beans. Don't let them just sit there. Take them off, freeze them. Fresh green beans, or even frozen green beans, or canned green beans are good. So just got to keep harvesting and doing. And sometimes it's tough. You just get tired. It's kind of lazy, and it sounds like an excuse, but it's true. Pepper plantation back here did very well. I was very pleased with it. The jalapenos, they did okay, not great like I had last year. This was a new location for these pepper plants. Pepperoncinis did fantastic. They were planted by they started seedlings at someone else. I bought them from a local guy, and they just really did well. I'm pretty pleased with those. So I learned a little bit there too. Start those seedlings early. And these jalapenos just didn't perform like I thought they would. I mean, they're still trying to grow, but we're pretty much at the end of the season on these guys. But I do have another run of pepperoncinis, so I'll pick those and can them up. We'll go from there. Another plane's coming in. Go figure, right in the flight path here. Tomato plants did fantastic, and they're a little beat down right now, but you can see I had tomato plants that were over 10 feet tall, and that's pretty cool. I still have tomatoes on the vine. They're green, and I chalk that up to, again, another lesson learned that'll pop up in that post. Got to get these suckers planted earlier. I also learned too, I had 9 varieties shoved in a fairly small space, but I think if I spread them out a little bit more, they'll grow better and maybe even get more production out of them. But I am very pleased with these. Got heirlooms in here, the brandywine and alpaca Roma and Amish paste. Really like those tomatoes, so I will be doing those next year as well. There's one. Yep. So, like I said, I still have some on the vine that we'll have to deal with here. So I don't know what I'm going to do with those yet. Maybe go into simplycanning.com and figure out what to do with green tomatoes. But really happy with the tomatoes that I did plant this year. Man, this bush tomato plant just did great, and I'll have to do that again next year. My cucumbers, they did pretty well. They're at the end of their cycle too. They were over 10 feet high, probably 12 feet high, some of those plants. I still have a couple cucumbers here and there, but these guys are done. A few are trying to poke through and start, but it's pretty late in the season for you guys. You can just tell the frost in the end of the year, they're just pretty beat down. So we'll be pulling those out here pretty quick. Potatoes, these were a fun experiment. They're my compost tomatoes. Got these from my mother-in-law, who had thrown them in her compost pile and started to sprout. So I have no idea what's in this bin. It's just a real simple 18-inch by 2-foot bin. Can't wait to see what's in there. Seem to be healthy, so I'm hoping that, you know, when I start emptying out the bin here, that we'll get some nice tomatoes or potatoes. So that'll be happening here pretty quick. Pretty much at the end of the road for these guys too. Again, looking down through the tomato jungle there, I did have it pruned up pretty well. I could have walked down the middle of this box here, and just over time it's kind of gone all over. We had some high winds here the past few days too, so things kind of got a little skew. But you can see too, this is the north side. You can see some of the frost damage here on the leaves. Another plane, of course. North side, these Amish paste tomatoes. They're about done. But I do have some that are getting ripe on the vine. That's pretty cool. We'll have a little bit more canning left to do. I still have green tomatoes to deal with. Looking pretty good. And then my bully of the tomato patch has been the cherry tomatoes, and I have just a ton of cherry tomatoes left that are still doing their thing. So I'll have to pick a bunch of these today and decide what to do with the plant. But I've learned too, this plant these cherry tomatoes just take over everything and really need to be off on their own. And finally, the pepper patch here, the green peppers, what a great little disaster this was. And disaster meaning, I guess I mislabeled the seedlings when I planted them, because I thought these were all going to be jalapeno plants, but they turned out to be green peppers, and they've been really tasty. It's been a great experiment, great little disaster. So I'm really pleased about that. Overall, I rebuilt these planters this year, and these are my little 2x4s. So this is actually a 4x4. You know, if you put these together, it would be a 4 or 5x4 square foot garden. And really pleased with how they came out. Trellises did great. I will be replacing my T-frame trellis here next year with a goalpost style trellis, because I think it just overall, you know, works really well. And not that there's anything wrong with that planter or trellis system, but just for the fencing I'm going to put in, it might be a little better just to have the goalpost type. So that's about it. You know, we're at the end of the season here. I've got some more videos to do. I've got wine projects going on. We'll have some more canning projects. I'm really pushing in the social media realm. Small Scale Gardening has a space on Twitter. We're up to almost 400 followers. It's great. Small Scale Gardening's on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Pinterest. And just really try to grow this thing on multi-levels. Got more videos coming. We're going to do wine. Got my pepper jelly that I haven't even done yet, so got just more stuff to do. And also the blog. We're going to I'm working on rebuilding the blog, make it a little more interesting, a little more functional for me as well. And we've made just great friends through social media too, like Larry Hall and his rain gutter grow systems and his growbaggardensystems.com. That's his online store and blog. So, but Larry's doing great. You know, if you want to do a rain gutter grow system, he's got all the components you need. He's got a really nice site, and it's going to be great. So it's nice to have good friends and places. And we'll be doing some projects here for some winter planting, and I'll show you all about that. That'll be fun. But you know, subscribe, stick around, join us on Facebook, join us on Twitter and Pinterest, and all over the net. So we got lots going on. And let's grow this thing. So this is Tom from smallscalegardening.com, and we'll be talking to you soon.